Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. The topic for today is suggested by one of our premium members. There was a midnight request that I would like to know more about angel guides and masters. What are these healing angels, healing masters, angels that we keep talking about? And what's your take on that? Well, I know a lot of healing fraternity and spiritual fraternity uh, have different ideas about them, different take, different beliefs, different experiences related to them. We do agree that there is some presence. My initial learning with them was crazy. When I remember when I was 15 years old, giving exams of my 10th standard, and I could feel the presence just a little ahead of me, like a bright light. And I remember often talking to that presence and said, look, if you want me to pass, tell me what to write. And I would be told what to write. And the beginning happened. I didn't even know whether they had angel guides, masters, healing angels or not. Then I read a newspaper ad saying, get introduced to your angel guides and masters. And I was so badly intrigued that there was a compulsive need for me to go and, take the training. And that was a turning point for my life. I was introduced to a lot of masters and angel guides. I also remember a Catholic neighbor of mine asking me, how does this help? And why should you know? At that time, probably I did not have answer because I was beginner there. I was also fascinated. I was also intrigued so badly. I didn't know what's good for me, what's not good for me. And I remember my mother telling, how do you know you're connecting to the right energies and not the weirdo frequencies? And what if that turns out to be detrimental to you? And I've gone through all that. Today, I perhaps go beyond them, and yet they have a major and important role to play. So, as I understand, again, I'm saying as I understand, your understanding could be different, and viewers' understanding can be different totally, and it's all right because as of now, we don't have too much of scientific proofs where we can validate what we are experiencing at the soul level, at the body consciousness level. And yet there is certain level of conviction and understanding. So as per my understanding, I mean, this has been given to me by one of my teacher, and I somehow feel that's right. Behind every human being who are born in the body, there are several other beings which are not in body, and they are here to facilitate your journey. Many of these beings are at your personal service in the sense they're looking after your welfare as an individual. And they could be from the ancestors' side, and they could be an evolved one. Now, based on your contribution to the society, your role play as a human, and also as an individual, you will have beings vibrating at different frequencies and guiding you towards different aspects of life. As you evolve and raise your frequency, these beings often change. Okay. And the new beings join. If you're very sensitive, you will feel there is some sort of spiritual depression you experience, the low feeling, some vacuum kind of thing, and you don't understand what's wrong because everything seems to be working fine. And yet there is something which is not right. And suddenly there's a joy and you don't know for what. That's when the new beings or the new frequency, they join. They're around you. They look after you. They guide you. They take you towards the future possibilities. You may feel that you bumped into this guy who's going to be your future husband, or you just stumbled upon an ad which created a major career opportunity for you. It's all you think. However, they coordinate because these are metaphysical beings who coordinate with other metaphysical beings who are looking after other individuals. And they're aware of your general life plan, and they do not have physical restrictions as we, being in the body, have it. No, they can travel, they can connect at a different level. Life can become very beautiful and easy if you can connect with them for your regular inputs. Now, again, what is your intent? If you connect with them to escape certain realities or certain experiences of life, there's no guarantee that you will not get it, because what you resist tends to persist. Some people often use these frequencies to manipulate their life. However, what you don't understand is perhaps the life is beautifully planned anyway for you. Too much of manipulation may not work out for you because these are evolved beings and they may not let you. They may not support you in that. And yet, they might facilitate few of them, which may or may not work well for you. Again, if you are operating from lower chakra levels or lower evolution frequencies, your desire to use them is mainly for the manipulation. As I was once upon a time, I wanted to manipulate my result and I've used it, but it was as a part of my life plan. So probably it was supported at that time. Okay. But today I don't do that. I don't use these frequencies to make my way easier for no reason, because I know that I'm manipulating. I know the repercussions of playing around like this, fooling around like this. So what do we do with these frequencies? Remain connected with them. They are the bridge between the ultimate consciousness and human consciousness. Understand the larger plan through them. They're guiding you, they're helping you. They are making your life easier and easier for you. And you can transcend and rise beyond them. The frequencies that you connected in your initial journey, you may not connect with them later. As you evolve, they also either evolve or they change. And the new evolved being give you the support again. Some of these angels, most of these angels, when we call angels, probably they were never humans. Okay. When I say angel guides, yeah, some of them would be humans and some of them would be non-humans. Ultimately, they're all frequencies. We cannot just deal with the frequencies like a frequency. So we like to give them a shape, size, structure, a human body, a human face, and we relate to them in that particular way. Yet, they have no form, they have no structure. They're just frequencies. Some of them are like audio frequencies and make your life easier. You can talk to them. Some of them give you visual evidences. Some of them give you more of a metaphor. Some of them just make you realize things. You feel you have done it, but you know there's something beyond you that has enabled you the realization, knowledge, cognizance. A lot depends upon whether you're clairvoyant, claircognizant, clairsentient, clairnescient, or just knowing things through thin air. Based on that, you have frequencies which will guide you, help you, and support you further. These are sometimes very important steps in your psychic and spiritual development. Remember, not necessarily all spiritual beings or all spiritual aspirants need angel guides and masters and have their support all the time, and yet they're facilitated without their knowledge. Not being able to connect with them doesn't mean that you're not spiritual. And being able to connect to them doesn't mean that you are spiritual. There's a difference between being psychic and spiritual. Psychic individuals know things through their thin air, they just know it. Like, I just know what's happening in the next house, or I can time travel and go there and figure it out. I know what's happened in the past life, or I know that this individual has fought with his mother and come to the office. There's a knowingness. Some people have visual impressions. It's more like intrusive in nature, but it's psychic. The same information, when we use it for our personal development, for spiritual development, it can become constructive. The same information, when we use it to manipulate others, can become highly manipulative. So what we need to do is we need to make sure our intent behind connecting with these individuals. When our intent is very clear, the applicability also becomes very clear, and the repercussions of every steps that you take also modifies accordingly. So make sure that you remain very clear in your intent while connecting with these beings. These beings have very clear intent anyway, and not all beings help you in manipulation if you're meant to um, evolve to a higher level of consciousness. It may or may not work. A lot of people come and tell me that I'm pretty disappointed because, I was never guided that there is a trauma ahead. Normally I get this guidance very easily and effortlessly. Let me tell you, they're not here to take you away from your life experiences. These beings are here to facilitate the journey called life. If it is meant for you to trip, fall down, get fractured, and lie in the bed, they will facilitate. They will guide you towards that path where you could trip and fall. And you feel disappointed, let down, betrayed, cheated. They're doing their role. They're playing the role to make sure that you complete your experiences. What if you have to be quiet, peaceful, rejuvenate, lying in the bed? They will do exactly that. And that's what is their role. They're not necessarily here to help you escape. So do not feel let down if things don't go your way. Now I'll talk about masters. These are the human beings who've left their body, or they are perhaps in their body, and you connect to their higher consciousness. Again, what you're connecting is with the frequency, and you can very well give a face and a shape, or perhaps a voice, while connecting with them, and that becomes your life, that makes your life much more easier. While doing that, you need to remember that they have human imprints. They have their own, perhaps some of the human incompletions, and while connecting with them, we are also affected by some of the human stories, perhaps that they have already created in their lives, and perhaps their beliefs, etc., gets affected or creates the kind of uh, impact on us. Okay, we need to just be aware. Each master have a story, and we need to be very clear about that also. Masters often have a larger role like ministers, so they do help you in different ways. And they also monitor a group of individuals who have a larger plan. So, for example, some masters are looking after the healing experiences of individuals. So, they are going to help you with group level work. So, they're not just interested in your welfare as an individual, but they will be interested in welfare of several individuals together. We often try and use and take help of these masters for our individual and personal health, which may or may not work always, and we may feel frustrated, let down. Remember, they're looking after masses, and they would always give a priority to greater good than individual good. And if you understand that, the chances of you feeling let down would be less, and you'll be able to take maximum support for your life mission, life purpose, which involves masses. The more, uh, the more functional or more important role you have, the more influence you have over masses, the more would be your unseen support system. They'll be there whether you connect with them or not. They remain connected. They will facilitate. They will make sure that your life becomes easier and effortless. They will make sure that you complete the assigned role play. And they will make sure that things happen the way they are planned, irrespective of your preparedness or not. And they will also make sure that the replacements are in place. They will also have plan B and C ready. A lot goes on behind obvious situation transpires at the human level. So we don't need to know all that always. And we may know all that always. Remember, your higher consciousness also could be at the master's level somewhere, influencing major parts of humanity. Remember, there's an angel in you, there's a master in you, there's a demon in you, and there is a divine in you. Everything is in you eventually. When you're invoking that part of you, which is an angel, which is a master. Keep invoking, keep activating the divine in you, the angel in you, the master in you, and steer your life towards greater good, which benefits you and the humanity in general. All right, so that's all for today. Any question on this? And my YouTube viewers can leave your questions. I will answer that a little later.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
This is Binati.
Hi.
Hi. What's the frequency above the masters?
So it's like, you know how we tune into the frequency through your radio or television set?
Yeah.
So there are different frequencies you tune into. And we learn to put a little face or a name to those frequencies because it's difficult for us as humans to level this frequency.
So super consciousness comes where?
It's you know what, this high and low category is our need, because in the metaphysical world there's nothing like high and low. There's nothing like before and after. Everything is happening in the now. Everything is in this very moment. Okay, so we are the extensions of super consciousness. When the frequency lowers slowly, we as human, this body cannot handle very high frequency. So much lower frequency rules this physical existence. And that's why, as humans, we need to connect to the higher frequency to know things beyond us. Yes, Sophie.
Ma'am, when we invoke, if we say something like for the higher good of myself and for the higher good of all, does that keep us steered away from inviting something which may not really be good?
Yeah. So intent is very important. If it is higher good or greater good, it would be always helpful. My request would be to avoid using this for manipulative purpose or for escape purpose.
Hmm.
No?
Okay.
Anyway, if these are the beings of higher frequencies, they may or may not be able to help you to manipulate or escape. They'll put you on life track.
Ma'am, since we are born in a physical body, that means our frequencies are not really high. So, what is the methodology to go to those very high frequencies and connect with these beings of high frequency?
Awakening, they're all there within you.
Hmm.
Awaken under guidance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Most welcome. All right, so that's all for today. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ambika, for putting up all the statements in the premium members group. We really enjoyed reading it. And thank you, everyone, for joining us. All the best and have a blessed day. Remember, the angel is there in you. The master is there in you. Awaken.